from here, so we know once it drops down or it goes bearish, we're in a seller's market. It's selling currently, and what we want to do is we're gonna pretend like we're not in this trade, and some people are not in this trade, but for those who are not in this trade, we're looking at a point where we can find a good entry in the market. So if we were trading this, and I'm on investing.com, so I would have to go to a lower time frame, but for just training purposes, what we would do for a breakout, for confirmation, we would want this red candle right here to break through this blue line right here. Simple and plain. All we want is the red line or this bearish candle, or that's our price, to break through this red line right here. Now, when it breaks through this red line here, it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, it broke through the red line, now it's time for me to get into the trade. We need a little bit extra confirmation for that trade. So basically what we will want that break of this here. We will want this blue line to break here, and my arrow's ugly, so forgive me. And once a candle started forming, a red candle, a bearish candle, it started forming below this line right here. That's where we will want to enter in the market. That's where we will want to enter in the market, because now the reason why, because now your support just became your resistance. Everybody understand that? I see somebody saying hello or something like that. So once it breaks here, y'all are gonna hear me say a lot now, like sell on the break and close or buy on the break and close. And this is because of wonderful people like Damon and Chad and Kenny, where we've been expanding our knowledge on trading. But once it breaks this blue line, and we're on an hour time frame, and say the next hour candle forms, and we go here and a candle forms in this area right here, we're going to want to get into this trade right here, and only if the candle's bearish, because we're clearly in a downtrend. And I'm gonna see if I can show you guys that. Let me pull this down. So I will go back here just to kind of give you guys confirmation of what I'm looking at. I don't have my fractals on, but as you can see here, there, and here, I'll just draw it right here. I don't ever draw these perfect, but it's okay. It's kind of where price is bouncing in right now. But as you can see, that's a clear downtrend right there. That's a clear downtrend. So if price was to break here, we would know that it's probably headed back up here to test this. But since it's here, you can see the small wicks here testing this line here, trying to break this line here. We get a candle to close below this line, we're in a good sell. Any questions on that before somebody said, can you check GBP NZD for me, please? That's the pair I'm on right now. They did put in a sale. It's the sale is a pretty, I mean, the sale does look pretty good, but it is testing this level of support right now. It does look like the GBP NZD is going to be a good trade, but for those who haven't gotten in yet, well, let me rephrase that. For those who have got in yet, I would just be patient to see what this is going to do right here. Of course, you're not going to get, somebody said they're on a buy. I don't know who that is, but if you're in on a buy, you're kind of trading against the trend right now. It's clearly in a sell trend, but I mean, it could happen in the market where, you know, this trade bounces off of the support and it goes to buy up, you know. So, I mean, that is a possibility, but right now what I'm seeing a seller's market. I mean, clearly just because it's in a downtrend. And there's other factors we can look at and other things we can do to confirm that. But for the sake of, we're in a sell right now on the GBP NZD. If you're not in it yet, I will wait until you get a candle that closes here on an hour, or I would, or if you're already in it, just basically just be patient. Any questions? I see a hand raised or something.
Any questions? I'm trying to see where you see the hand raised.
It's on Samsung Galaxy S7.
Okay.
So
Are you good?
Shelly gave me some ones.
Samsung said thank you.
He said thank you. Chris Kurt, Benita, Damian, James, Pete, are all of y'all good on that? 111, Benita good.
Yeah.
She said she's taking notes. Damon said, okay, he's good. Angela's good. I just want to make sure y'all understanding that. This is a little bit advanced, but I'm going to show y'all guys why I'm showing you what I'm showing you right now. The reason why I'm showing you this right now is because when you see things like this and you're able to recognize these charts and identifying critical zones in the market, I don't want you guys to be so anxious to when you see a signal to just jump in it, and just say, oh, that's Jason. Jason's a pretty good trader. Or, oh, that's Eric. Oh, that's Alonzo. Oh, that's Dr. Spiller. Oh, that's Damon. Oh, that's anybody. I mean, you still want to do your own analysis, guys, even when a signal goes out. I do all the time. There are wonderful trades that fly throughout the group with Damon, Stacy, Kenny, Chad, everybody, but I still do my own analysis. I call this the stair stepper. I can't remember the names and stuff, so I make them up on my own. So the reason why I'm saying that, guys, is simply this: if all of us were in college, and everybody copied off somebody's paper and he failed, you'll be looking like, man, I thought, this cat was this, that, this, that, this, that. You still want to check the work to make sure it's all right. Even if you copy papers in school, and you kept the answers you didn't know, but the ones that you knew for sure or had some general knowledge of, you researched them. And that's the same thing you got to do. You gotta research these trades in the market. There's a question, Damon.
Yes, the question is from Mr. Vance Reed. It says, how do you know when is the right time to jump in?
So that's a good question, man. So when you know when the right time to jump in, you just wait on different confirmations, and all of that really depends on what type of trader you are. Me personally, I'm a breakout trader. I like trading breakouts. Rodney Martin, he likes trading the teacup strategy. Bernita and Angela, they have their own strategy as well. Shelly, she likes trapping price like I do. She's a consolidation trader. She likes trading on the break and close. I like trading on the break and close. It just depends on what kind of trader you are, man. So I can show you here. So we're waiting on this. So we're basically just waiting on this trade here, and we're basically waiting on the candle to close below this support for confirmation. Now, let's just pretend this was a 4-hour chart. One thing that can help you, Vance, I don't know what time frames you trade on, but say, for instance, or chart on, I'm sorry. I don't know what time frames you chart on, but if you chart on the 4-hour chart, then you should be finding your entry on the 1-hour chart.
He said 4 hour.
Okay, so if you chart on the 4-hour, then you need to find your entry on the 1-hour, because it's a more accurate entry, and the 1-hour chart's a little bit more real time, and you get to see exactly what that market's doing. I mean, the 4-hour shows you too, but the 1-hour is a more closer time frame.
Hey,
so go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Jason, to cut you off. I think I know exactly what his challenge is, and what he's basically is saying is he sees price going up in one time frame, like you're saying, and down in the other. And that goes back to what Jason was saying, that you need to identify what type of trader you're going to be. Because I'm a position trader. I don't look at those 1 hour and 15 minutes. I don't look at those smaller time frames. So it's always going to go in the opposite direction for me, because I'm always on sales, and it'd be like they might call a buy. But I know in a week from now it's going to be selling, and it's going to go to where I want price to go. So I don't really get caught up in, what's going on today. I'm thinking about next week. So I'm watching and reading news and making sure it's going where it's supposed to go. So I think your challenge is, like Jason said, you got to figure out who you are and what type of trader you are in the markets, not as an individual, but in the markets. Because if you're going to be riding trades for a week or two, then you want to stay away from those smaller time frames, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely, Damon. I really like how you explained that. And Vance, you have to find what you've been having the most success with. If you've been having the most success on a 30-minute time frame, then you need to stay on that time frame. If you've been having the most success on a 4-hour chart, then you need to stay on that 4-hour chart. It's always tweaking and things that you can do to improve your trading. It's always like that one little small thing that you're missing that you need. So for me, it was it was more patience, because when I saw a breakout, I was like, okay, cool. I would jump in it and I was successful, 73, 74% of the time. But when I would go big, it would take me out because I didn't prepare for the false breakouts. So that's kind of what I'm teaching on tonight, and it may help you as well, Vance. Like I said, waiting on the break and close here. Say this was on a daily time frame, which that's ugly. Let me fix that for you guys. So say we charted this on a daily time frame, and you can clearly see it's in a downtrend on GBP NTD on a daily time frame. Well, if we charted this and we did everything we needed to do on a daily time frame, from here we will be finding our entry point. So for sake, let's just pretend this was a 4-hour. We're going to drop down to the 1 hour. We drop down to the 1 hour. We want to find our entry. So we want our entry basically to we're gonna want a test of this. It'll be resistance after the support, but we're gonna want a test of this right here. But when it sells down, we're gonna want it to like place our entry below the low of that candle. So basically, we're going to be setting a entry point of about 1.8900. And let me see if I can make this look better so I can better explain that, because I want to make sure you guys are getting this, because it's real good stuff. So, and I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. I will pull it back up real quick. Okay, we got that there. And y'all can still see my screen pretty good, right? Do I need to make it bigger?
Okay, that looks...
Is that too big?
No, that looks good. I mean, okay. You can make... It's good.
Okay, so say you get a candle, and I'm not a candle drawer, and I wish they would let me get a... Let's see, brush here.
You wish they had a candle template?
Yeah, like a candle template.
Clip art.
Say we get a candle here, and we're just gonna pretend that's a candle. Y'all remember I didn't go to school for art. So we get a candle there, and it tests this line right here, which becomes our support. So what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna place an entry, like on the low of this right here. So you can either place it here or you can place it here. So we will be placing like a sell stop at like 1.8902 or 1.8892. It really doesn't matter, just somewhere when you're in this range. As you guys know, we do like entry zones and things like that. As long as you're in this range right here, it's tested this level of resistance right here. This has now became resistance. Once you get a candle to close here and you start getting a bearish candle to form, you're gonna want to get in on that trade right there. And that's basically going to give you the best possible trade and the best possible entry for breakouts and everything like that. Right. Any questions? I'm gonna slow it down. Make sure no one has any questions. There should be some.
Any questions out there?
James says he's good. Are we looking for a full candle? Yes. You're gonna want a full candle to close, or within a wick. You don't want a wick, Josie, because simply when you see something like wick, and like I said, I keep drawing this terrible, but like let me see if I can zoom in on that where y'all can see that wick. So you see basically this wick right here where it wicked on this line, but you might get a candle that wicks here through the support, but it shoots back up here because it was just testing it. So you're looking for a full candle to close below this line right here, or your support. And once it closes under the support, this blue line right here now becomes resistance, and now it has to break through there. And like I said, that's where I became a better trader, because I got tired of, and I'm gonna move up my line. So I got tired of setting, entry, sell stops, for instance, here, where y'all see my mouse, and you see a big wick shoot through there. It activates my sell, and I'm like, oh, it wicked. I'm in profit. Now I'm in a losing trade because it shot all the way back up here. It did eventually come back down here where to put me in profit, but that right there does something to your mental, and a lot of times it doesn't work out that way. It could have kept going up, and but unfortunately this one went down. So it's just different. It's just different for me now. I don't do it off the wick. I always wait for a full candle to close below. And here's a good example right here for the GBP NZD, that the trade went out in a sell. As you can see, now it's buying up a little bit on the hour. So it tested this level here, tested this level of support. Now it's buying back up a little bit. Now it might not stay that way, but now it's a battle between the bears and the bulls, basically. Any questions on that? Is that making sense, guys? I hope I'm explaining that the best way I can.
We have any questions? Okay, I don't think we have any questions. I put a little side note in there about what wicks allude to what you exactly were saying.
Right.
Wicks.
Yeah, and I see the comment that you sent me as well. GBP NZD is having some pullback, and that's what you guys are seeing here. You're seeing a little bit of pullback, but it is a strong seller's market. And the apps that I had you guys download, you can always go look at those, and it'll let you know on the strong signals exactly where it is. But Vance, that's basically how I would do my entries. If you're having success on the 4 hour, and I encourage all you guys, I mean, whatever time frame you're trading on, if you're having success on the 4 hour, just find your entry on the 1 hour. If you're having success on the 1 hour, find your entry on the 30-minute. That it's going to make your entry points more, way more accurate and minimum drawdown. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, let's see, we talked about our entries, our stop losses. So on our stop losses, you're basically going to want to use a proper risk to reward ratio. You're going to want to use a proper risk to reward ratio. So, and I don't have none of my stuff on. That kind of gives me that clear indication. I don't know what I just did. Y'all give me a minute.
Hey, Jason, while you're finding that, I'm having a challenge. I want to get better with trailing stops.
With trailing stops?
And that's like one of my problems as I look back over my log of trades this month. I think that's one of my biggest challenges is moving up taking partial profits. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know if it's a mental block in me where I just I don't like to move it. But those are the two biggest things I struggle with right now.
I'm glad you just brought that up, Damon. And I'm gonna say this to all 18 of you that are on this call right now. Shelly said I struggle with this as well. I want you guys to put all of this in perspective right now. Curtis, Benita, Rodney, Joseph, Damian, James, Chris, Kurt, Pete, all y'all, Mahogany. Think about it. Now, that when you place a trade or you get a trade from me or anybody, and that trade goes into profit, soon say that trade went up 10 pips and you lock in 5 of those pips, no matter the pullback or whatever the case may be. Would you, how much more profitable would you be if every time that trade went into profit, a significant, say, let's just say 10 pips. Let's just use that as an example. Every time that trade went in profit, 10 pips, you secured 5 of those pips in every trade you ever placed. How much more of a profitable trader would you be?
I'm gonna do the math for you because I know I would have a lot of money right now.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The problem is with and I'm guilty of this too. Don't feel, I mean, guys, I'm being completely transparent. If we all, when we place these trades and we get in these trades, we always go for the big money. You know, oh man, that trade came from Jason. I know this trade's gonna go 40, 50 pips. Oh, this trade came from Chad. I know it's gonna go 80 pips. Oh, this trade came from Eric and Alonzo. I know it's gonna go 80 pips. And then you get up 60 pips and you don't secure any of that profit. And then you say, oh, I'm gonna just see how far it's gonna go. And then you fall asleep. And then when you wake up, it's in a negative. And you're like, what in the HE22 picks just happened? Man, that trade was up $60. I can't believe I didn't secure some of that money. And then you start saying stuff like, man, if I just would have secured $25 of that, I would have been happy. If I just would have secured $30 of that, I would have been happy. So we have to get, Mahogany said guilty. So we have to get to the point, guys, where when your trade goes into profit, even I would say on at least 10 or 15 pips. If you get up 10 or 15 pips in the trade, secure 5 pips of that. All 19 of you on this call, make me a declaration right now that when your trades go into profit, you're going to secure your profit. Say, I promise, Jason. Just type it in the chat. Say, I promise. Say, I promise. Terry says, I promise. Shelly says, I promise. Damon says, I promise. Because because it does, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you close a trade with, I mean, the trade closes with $3, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100. You didn't lose. Do y'all get what I'm saying? You didn't lose.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, if you secure 5 pips, 10 pips, my rule, guys, now is simply this: if my trade goes up 10 pips, I secure 5. If it goes up 15 pips, I secure 10. If it goes up 20 pips, I secure 15. I'm doing this every now, and I'm finding myself. I mean, sometimes I get big money, sometimes I get small money. But the thing about it is, my account is never decreasing. My account is always increasing. So just think about it. If you only make $3, so what? You're $3 closer to your goal than what you're gonna be, and that money's secured. You know, that's $3 you didn't have to, you know, punch a clock and go work for. So hence, that goes back to what I'm saying. If you're trading on a 4-hour, drop down to the 1 hour and get your entry, because when you're securing those things, it shouldn't go back and hit your trailing stop anyway, unless our president does something or news comes out, you know? So once you get up 10 pips, 15 pips in profit, secure some of that. You want to make every trade a winning trade, because it's gonna come, and I know I'm talking a lot, guys, so I hope I'm not boring y'all, because but it's gonna become a point in time, guys, where you're using 1.0s and 2.0s and 3.0s, and then it's gonna be a point where you're trading $100 a pip, and you're trading $100 a pip, and your trade goes up $1,000, well, guess what? You just secured 500 of it. So you don't care what the trade does now because you just made $500. It's locked, it's signed, sealed, and delivered. And you have to practice that with the small money in order to get to the big money. Now I'm gonna pause. Any questions?
Well, thank you, sir. Any questions out there? Because that's why it's good to be transparent on these trainings.
Yeah.
Because you're only going to get better if you bring up your challenges every week.
Yeah.
You won't grow. So
yeah.
I've learned that over the years. You could have some expensive lessons, or you can learn right here, and it won't cost as much.
Right. Yeah. You don't. I mean, trust me. You do not want to take those expensive lessons, guys. I've learned. I don't say the word lost because I don't believe in lost. I've learned thousands of dollars in this market, like where it's just stupid stuff. Stuff was saying, man, if it'll just go $100, I'll close it out, and I got $75 on my screen. I mean on my phone, like just crazy stuff like that, guys. Just make sure you're securing your profit. Just keep securing your profit, no matter how small, no matter how big. Trust me, every trade is not gonna just reverse and hit your trailing stop every time. It goes up 15 pips, secure 5. If it goes up 20, secure 10. If it goes up 25, secure 15. So on and so forth. Okay, let me pull up. Okay, I'm gonna stop my share for a minute, guys. Y'all taking notes? Y'all enjoying this? Y'all enjoying this? Let me pull up my MetaTrader for Pete, Justin, Damon, a lot of the new guys, because I really want to make sure y'all are understanding, how to place trades, how to look for stop losses, things like that. We're good on our time, Damon?
Yes, sir. We are good on our time. It is 8:39 Central Standard Time PM and 9:39 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. I'm pulling up my phone right now, guys. Just give me 1 minute. Wait.
And we are getting value out of tonight's training for sure. We're gonna have to start doing some commercials in our training, Jason. Like if someone in the group has something they want to talk, pitch about, or maybe you could send it to me and I run it past Jason, and I could do a little infomercial for you. Like, hey, support Shelly's softball game this weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
Or I don't know. I know we got some talented people in this group.
Start my broadcast here. Let me see if it shares. Okay, there's my phone. Okay, y'all guys give me a minute. I'm gonna pull up my MetaTrader. Okay, so I have Pete. Y'all can see my MetaTrader, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So I've got Pete. Curtis has been with us for about a month now. I got Pete, Justin, and some of the others. So some of the others haven't placed a trade in their MetaTrader yet. And I'm gonna place a trade, and I'm gonna show you guys how to place a trade real quick. It's real easy. There is more that goes into it, but I'm just gonna show you the basics of it real quick. And with the entries and everything that I showed you guys, I'm gonna show you how to determine stop loss and all of those nice things right there. So if you're ready, let's go. So on the bottom 5 of your screen, you have your quotes, you have your chart, you have your trade, you have your history, and you have your settings. So on quotes, so I sent Pete, I said, hey, they just posted sell GBP NZD. So you will scroll down and look for GBP NZD. As you can see, it's on the bottom of my screen. So you would tap GBP NZD, you would hit trade, and then you will see something pop up that says sell and buy. Now the numbers on the top is basically your lot size. So 0.01 is 10 cents. dot oh 02 is 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents, $1. Dot 10 is $1. So these are the different lot sizes you can use. Guys, I don't know how much money you have in your account, but if you have a $50 account, you don't want to go over dot 02, which is 20 cents. If you have a $100 account, you really don't want to go over dot 03, which is 30 cents. If you have a $500 account, you can play with dot 05s all the way up until, you know, dot 10, which is $1. So you could play anywhere between 50 cents and $1 if you have a $500 account. Now, if you have a $1,000 account, I would play with dot 20s and dot 30s. The reason why you probably, if you're thinking like right now, Jason, well, why wouldn't you go dot 50 or 1.0, which is $10? Because that's where things start moving real fast, and it's easier to over leverage your account. So you still want to play with dot 20s, dot 25. And be honest with you, I would play in that range right there if you had $1,000 in your account. I wouldn't go over dot 30. I have a pretty good amount in mine, and I don't really go over dot 50, but I have thousands of dollars in there. Any questions on that, guys?
Yes, you have a question.
Okay.
Shelly said a $200 account.
On a $200 account, $200 account, Shelly. Honestly, when I took my $200 account to $1,000, I was using dot 04, dot 05, dot 06. Anywhere between the dot 03 range to the dot 06 range. That's where you're gonna want to play.
You got it, Shelly? Okay, she got it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So with that, GBP NZD, typically when I'm looking at a pair, and especially like for purposes, like if I'm showing somebody how easy it is to trade, I look at it, I see where it is on the market. I see I'm in a clear downtrend right now. I'm having a little bit of a retracement, but overall we're in a strong seller's market. This is kind of off the wall, but guys, remember I told you about the Forex Signals app. You can open this app here, and you can look for a summary, and you can scroll up to GBP NZD, and I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. GBP NZD tells you right there, guys, strong sell. Do y'all see that?
They see it.
Okay, so y'all see that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna say, hey, I'm in a strong sell. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place a sell. So remember, Justin, Pete, Damian, anybody else I'm missing, you're gonna tap GBP NZD. You're gonna hit trade, and we're gonna do market execution. So we're gonna hit sell. And that's it. Now that trade's executed. So you see the trade I just placed, GBP NZD at a dot 10. That's $1. Right now you're seeing a negative $4.49. Basically what it is right now is I'm having to cover the broker, basically the broker fee or the spread. That's what we call it. Basically the spread. And that's it. Pete, Damon, Justin, is it pretty straightforward on how to place a trade?
Let us know if you're clear. If you still are undecided, let us know that as well. Don't be embarrassed or ashamed.
No, we have new people, as y'all see, everybody that's in this group, y'all know we have new people joining our organization every day, every week, every month, every year. So there's always going to be somebody coming in that typically doesn't know how to do this yet. So no need to be ashamed or anything like that. I was here once, and everybody that's on this call was here once. Remember that. Okay, so another thing I want to show you guys, if you get a trade that says since we're in the sell market and I'm playing with GBP NZD and I wanted to trade, if you get a trade that says, hey, place a sell stop at 1.89400, you're going to want to click this market execution button at the top here. Once you click the market execution button at the top, you see 4 options that pop up: buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, sell stop. And then if someone says, hey, sell stop at 189.400, let's do this. We'll click sell stop, and then we're going to type it in, 1.89400. Sorry, 189.400. And somebody says your stop loss should be 1.94000, you would come in this right here and you would type in 1.94000. And then if somebody says, hey, take profit at 1.85000, you would tap in your take profit column, you would type in 1.85000, and when you were done with everything, you would hit place. And now that trade is pending, and we're waiting on that trade to drop down to 1.89400. Once that trade drops down to 1.89400, that trade would automatically activate on its own.
Everybody clear on that?
Any questions on that?
It gets confusing. That's why we were talking about the sell stops, Jason. And Jason keeps alluding to the sell stops and moving it up, because we will get confused on this because we're in a sale. So you have to know which way to move your stop loss.
Right.
And that's why it's important for you to go back to your charts and look at your charts, and don't just trade blind off other people.
And the reason why I play sell stops, guys, Damon has a book circulating around. He didn't write it, but I mean, he's been emailing us this book called The Naked Forex. And if y'all want that book, please contact Damon. I've read it backwards. Now I'm reading it forwards, and then I'm gonna read it sideways. When you basically place buy stops and sell stops, these are expert traders. They let you know on buy stops and sell stops. That's when you secure most of the profits. That's when you become a more profitable trader, with buy stops and sell stops. So I am a huge fan of buy stops and sell stops. And if y'all guys see me placing trades, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get a buy stop and sell stop. So once again, in review, guys, if you hit that, you hit the trade button. Now, as you see, my sell stop is pulled up here. If I told you to do a market execution, that means just get right in that trade. Don't hesitate. Don't wait for a sign, none of that. Just get right in. And if you see this and you say, oh man, Jason said get in the trade, but it's blanked out, it's grayed out, I don't know how to get in it, hit your sell stop button, and then hit your market execution button, and then it brings you back where you can sell by market or buy by market. Easy? Easy
peasy. I know it's a lot of information, y'all. And it seems like,
guys, just make sure you're taking notes. Like I said, it's just like starting a job. Like, you don't know how to do the job when you first start, but eventually you just get real good at it, where you become unconscious. So that's that. I'm going to stop my share on this, guys, and I'm going to go over stop loss real quick. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys that, and kind of bounce around and show you guys that. So I'm going to share my screen again. Why am I seeing? Okay, but y'all see, oh, what happened there? Let's see, where did my investing.com go? Y'all give me 1 minute.
All right.
Okay, Can y'all see my investing.com?
No, sir. I see a ladybug.
A ladybug. Okay, hold on real quick.
We don't want to know, Jason. We don't want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where the ladybug came from, but okay.
I think you might be in the ladybugs. That's okay. You don't have to tell us.
Hey, they're good. I heard they're good luck. So do y'all see the investing.com now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If you could blow it up a little bit.
Yes, sure. That good? Do I need to bring it over? Do I need to make it bigger? Damien,
it's good.
What's up?
It's good. I was just meaning more of the screen, but it's good. It's
okay. So going back to the stop loss, guys. So this is a perfect example right here. I mean, I got 8 more minutes, so I'm a make this as understandable as possible. Like I said, when I first look at a trade, I get my high and I get my low. So as you see, and Josie brought up a good point. I don't know if she's still on the call, but she brought up a good point to that. Like she said, the wicks. So you see that this wick through, this was selling and this wick through, and now it's back buying and this wick through. So that's why I said I place my sell stop when I get a closing candle, because why? If I would have had a sell stop placed below this level of support right here, this trade would have activated and I would be down in this trade right now. So do you see why, guys, the sell and close is so important, especially when you need a bearish candle? That's why that's important. Now let's talk about stop loss for a minute. So if we placed if we got a candle, and don't talk about my candle again, guys, I know it's ugly. If we got a candle here and I placed a sell stop for it to activate here, it missed the wicks, it activated here, and we're rolling. So we're gonna be looking at a stop loss. So first what we gotta do is we gotta kind of like gauge a take profit. A take profit, we're on a hour chart, so we're looking at about 10 to 25 pips. I'm just gonna place a horizontal line right here. Test this right here. Where's my pip calculator? Here. We got in on a sell stop here. This is 20 pips. We'll just leave it here at 20 pips. We'll say this was our take profit at 1.8904. So we want to make sure our risk to reward ratio is tight and right. So if we're gonna do a 20 pip take profit, we're gonna at least want a 20 pip. We're gonna at least want a 20 pip stop loss, or we're gonna want, I mean, at least a 25, 30 pip stop loss. So of course 20 pips would be right here. You wouldn't want to put it right here, guys, because I mean that's just going back. Well, actually, it's 30 pips there. So I would put it, so I would do a 20 and 40, honestly.
Jason, not to interrupt you. Curtis had mentioned, could you make your screen a little wider?
Oh, yeah. Make it wider.
You're not the, maybe up in the top right corner. You know, yeah.
Like that?
He means wider. Oh, he means wider like that.
Wide.
Probably because it's just long. I was thinking your
this is as wide as they're gonna let me do it unless I'm missing something. Lena, I'll see if she can make it wider, but this is like full screen right here for me, Curtis. My bad, bro. Curtis said, could we make this wider?
Wider?
Wider. W-I-D-E-R.
Which wider? Oh, okay.
Oh, like that? Like that? Okay. So zoom in. My bad. So you wanted to zoom in.
I don't know where you have this. Sorry.
No, you're good. Okay.
Okay, got somebody. Okay, Curtis.
Cool.
He want to see them candles. He likes those colors.
Okay.
He like green and red. That's all.
Yeah. So basically identifying the high and the low, guys. You see that it's wicked through. It's finally breaking through our resistance here. So of course, strong sellers market. But for the ones who are not in this trade yet, like I said, I would wait to get a candle that closes here. Then I would get in. I would do like 20 pips for there. But I would do the next level, like it hitting this structure right here. This is where I would set my stop loss right here, just because I know it's going to hit that level. So my candle on my sell stop basically would be here, which we will be looking at about 20 pips here for take profit. And then let me do that. And then my stop loss, just to keep it good. Honestly, I would set it there. That's 27 pips. So I would do a 20 pip take profit for a 27 pip risk, which is good risk to reward ratio. And we'll get more into that, guys, but you don't long story short, you just don't want to risk, you don't want to risk 50, 60 pips to gain, 10 pips or, 15 pips. If you're risking 20 pips or you're risking 30 pips, you want to make sure that risk to reward is the same.
All right. Everybody got that. I know that was another challenge of mine, staying in the trade for a whole week for 10 pips.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get up in the morning and scout with Jason and get 10 pips and before you go back to sleep. So it's not worth staying up for a whole week in a trade for 10 little pips that you can get on IML TV, catch Dr. Kathy or whoever out there. I forgot the two gentlemen I was scalping with this morning, but Thursdays at 3 o'clock on IML TV. I mean, it's just people out there all over the
oh yeah.
So Jason be up too. And you can catch your pips quick with him. So
yeah. And guys, I didn't trade that much this week, and the reason being just because holidays and all of that stuff like that kind of threw off the market, and the market was real choppy. And I do believe in giving you guys the best trades, and I'm not just gonna put out something just so you guys can get it and make money. I'm gonna treat you guys' account like I treat mine. So I'm not just gonna put out anything. So.
It was money today. You was on this morning, wasn't you?
Yeah. I was on this morning, but
yeah, it was money. It kept my account alive. I'll just say that.
Yeah, but in conclusion, guys, it's almost 9 o'clock. I would watch this GBP NZD that Eric and Alonzo put out. I know it was one of them. I just don't know which one. But just keep in mind those determinant factors that I showed you guys, because that'll keep you out of drawdown. So basically everybody that jumped in that GBP NZD right now, they're down. Because why? Because we're having a little bit of a pullback. But if you wait until you get that solid confirmation, basically, and you're about to have a new candle form right now. So I mean, we'll just see what it does. But
just can you put the counter on, the countdown on?
The countdown. What you mean?
The timer, the candle.
Oh, the pip calculator?
No, the count. How it counts down. What are we on? Oh, you're on the hour. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm on this is an hour time frame. Like it didn't give me the 4 hours. So
yeah.
But as you can see, it's having a little bit of a pullback right now. But it'll sell down just for the simple fact, it's testing this line. It keeps testing this line, so it'll break through. Just take time, but guys, if not anything else, Terry, I'm glad you said that. Yes, I am. NFP. Yes, I am. I haven't done a lot of trading this week, but I will be trading that in the morning. Kenny Haddon's not on tonight. He's probably gonna be asleep, but me and him talked about it. I'll call Chad right after me and you guys get off the line. We will be trading the NFP in the morning, so we can get on a Zoom. I know that NFP starts around 7:30, so we can get on a Zoom and we can trade it together and see if we can make some money. And there's two ways we can make money on that, guys. We can catch it on a consolidation, like how I trade here, or we can just go ahead and let it drop or spike whatever direction it goes, and then we can catch it back on the market correction. So either way it go, you guys look forward for that. We'll be up in the morning. I'll set my alarm. We'll hop on Zoom and we'll make this money.
All right. Well, that concludes it. And I appreciate everyone for coming out. Have a great, successful end of the week leading up to Sunday night's training. And thank you, Jason, once again for the platform. Sorry to keep everybody 2 minutes past 10, but I know y'all don't mind or mind. Because this is better than college. I'll tell you, it's better than college. So
all day, every day.
Let's show Jason some love. Go ahead and hit him up in there. Please do. And hit him up in Group Me as well. Share, get it out there in Group Me that you appreciate.